Alicia Mayo of Clari-T Media. Let me check my levels again. Levels are looking good. Let me straighten my camera. Okay, always get the best shot possible. I'm back. This time, this time I'm back at LTU Cliff Bar and Restaurant here in the Grill, Jamaica, one of my favorite places. Still a beautiful place, you guys. Check it out. Oh my gosh. Oh, still my favorite place. Okay, that's not even the view. That's not even the view. Okay, let me take you to see the view. Okay, bear with me. Hold on. Something hit me. Look, you guys, look. Look. Look at the beauty of Jamaica at this time of the year. It is gorgeous. And this location, you guys, look at the water. Hold on, let me get you a close-up. The water is a little rough, still blue and so beautiful as you go down deeper. There's the blueness. Can you see the blueness? The blue, 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 green. It's a beautiful color. Beautiful out here. Gosh, beautiful. Okay? Okay. And here at LTU Bar, they want you to please be safe here. Don't stand, sit, climb, or lean on the wall. Fish could eat you, and that might make them sick. Thank you. Signed the manager. The wonderful manager is Luca and the owner. And this is the LTU Cliff Bar and Restaurant. Just absolutely to die for. Now the tides are high. The water is high, which makes for an interesting time here in Jamaica. Back in the States, it's the winter. So this is what the skies are looking like today. We have partly cloudy skies. And, we had some rain earlier this week. But the temperatures are nice and cozy and mild. Okay? So, hello, everybody. Alicia Mayo of Clari-T Media, CEO and founder of Clari-T Media. Look how blue that water is. Yes. Oh, my God. It's so gorgeous. Okay, you guys. So, I wanted to continue the live stream and let you know where I'm at, what I'm up to these days. Okay, so here's the thing. I wanted to continue the conversation about the honeymoon being over here in Jamaica. Well, I'm still in love. I'm still in love. Hold on, let me put my phone back on the tripod. Okay. So you may hear some noise in the background. Excuse the noise. They're always working here to make sure that everything's so. And here in Jamaica, people are still, in recovery from the hurricane and all of the results. Okay, let me check my volume again so that I'm not too loud or too low. Okay, so the honeymoon. Yeah, the honeymoon is over. But what happens when the honeymoon is over? You get real life and you start doing those real things, right? The things that sustain you, your family life, and all of that. You learn along the way. You get adjusted. When you're living in a new country, oh gosh. When you're living in a new country. Yeah, when you're living in a new country, there are lots of adjustments that you have to make. Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I love this painting on the wall. This underwater painting. I gotta watch out. He might gulp me. Yeah, LTU, Cliff Bar and Restaurant. This is their lounge area. Yeah, little party lounge. Yeah, asked me if I needed help. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, thank you. They're great service here. Great food. Let me see. I saved the menu so I could share what's on the menu with you guys. The menu changes but for the most part, they have a wonderful spaghetti bolognese. They have great lobster. They have delicious coconut shrimp, huge shrimp, and Alfredo, and sandwiches, and brown cow, black Russian, pineapple. That these are cocktails, by the way, brown cow. All your favorite soft drinks, alcohol, and then, God, great food. Ooh, my favorites. I just had coconut shrimp, like I said, jumbo coconut shrimp, and then I had the spaghetti bolognese, and then my partner had shrimp alfredo. Very satisfying, all of it. Again, we're at LTU Cliff Bar and Restaurant here in the Grill, Jamaica. Okay, you guys, so I was trying to tell you that the honeymoon ends, okay? You come here to Jamaica, you say you want to live in Jamaica, okay? You need to know that there are some requirements. Um, you need to apply for your TRN. Apply for your TRN. Get your TRN number, okay? Once you get your TRN number, then you can do the business that you need to do, like open a bank account, get a license if you're going to be driving, if you're going to buy a car, if you're going to, um, open a flow account for your cell phone or internet service. All those things you need to do. Be- Before you do all of those things, get your TRN number, get a TRN card, and then you can do your business. Like I bought a scooter and I needed to go and get insurance for the scooter. So I had to have my TRN and I had to have the license for the scooter and all that stuff. And I had to go to Sab Lamar because I'm here in the Grill, which is about 30 minutes to 40 minutes away from SAB and the tax office where we handle business. So get all of your business taken care of if you plan to live in Jamaica. Take care of your business. Don't just come here and just start living and partying and having a good time, because the honeymoon ends and then real life begins and you have to have your stuff together if you're going to be here. Otherwise, they will send you home, and with the way the immigration and travel bans are going, you may not be able to return if you leave on a sour and bad note. You don't want to do that, okay? So again, I'm Alicia Mayo, the CEO and founder of Clari-T Media. If you hear any noises in the background, it's just, the customers having a good time here at LTU Cliff Bar and Restaurant. Um, and it's just, culture. It's just how it is. It's just what they do. You're going to hear those noises, but that's why I have this wonderful Rode mic, and it comes with a monitor to let me know that my levels are good and you will be able to hear me without all of the background or environmental noise. All right? So let's make a toast to the new year. Cheers to 2026. This is basically water with a little bit of white wine in there left over from lunch. I don't have to go to work. I work for myself. CEO and founder of Clari-T Media, CLARI capital T, Mayo Media. Clari-T Media. My last name is Mayo. Married last name. Okay, so back to the subject of the honeymoon being over. So what happens when the honeymoon is over? And I've been married before. I was married for a good long time. I had a wonderful marriage. Things changed. We changed. We went our separate ways. When the honeymoon was over, we had to get to real life. We had to make money. We had to raise our children. We had to pay bills. Life just really got serious. Fast forward 20 years later, we realized we were incompatible. We didn't have much in common anymore, or we were just on a different page and it was taking too long for us to get caught up with each other. So we decided to split, go our separate ways, divide our equity. And he went his way, I went mine. I came here to Negril, Jamaica, fell in love with the place, bought a plot of land, for myself, and I'm so glad I did when I did. And when I left the United States, something was telling me to leave. I knew I needed to leave. Um, I had been doing the best business I had ever done as a founder of a multimedia organization. I had the best contract I had ever landed, and so I knew that I had proven myself, so to speak, as a businesswoman. And it wasn't a question of my worth or value anymore. And we all go through that in the United States, especially as an entrepreneur. Who values my products, my services, and are they willing to pay for my products and services? Well, they were, and they are still willing to pay in the States. But everything else had to line up. I had to be able to afford to live there. I had to be able to have access to good health care. I had to have access to stable housing. And let me just go back and say, for basic living standards like housing, safe, healthy, and affordable housing, it doesn't exist in San Francisco, especially for a retiree like me, 60 years old. I've worked all of my life in San Francisco, but there was nothing available for me. So I had to look around at where I could afford to live and, who I wanted to live amongst. The kind of people I wanted to live around had to look like me, and they had to have the same or the similar cultural norms and traditions and all of that. That's very important to me. I'm not the one that's going to go and live in Wales. I am not the one that's going to go to Thailand, per se. I feel more comfortable with people who look like me. Now, yeah, there are differences, class differences, socioeconomic differences, um, traditional, cultural norms, relationship differences, communication differences, food differences. There are lots of differences, even here amongst my own African people, right? But here we have African, we have Indian, we have Chinese, we have European, and it's a beautiful mix, very similar to San Francisco, where I'm from, which I love. I just absolutely love that it's similar but different at the same time. And then we've got the beautiful ocean, we've got the wonderful beaches, we've got the people and the differences, and it's all a big jumbled ball of life, different lives coming together. And so I'm learning that the honeymoon ends and real life begins here in Jamaica. It's not a vacation, always. But if you can adapt, if you can find your way through the community, anywhere for that matter, take your time. Don't rush into anything. Allow yourself to have time alone in your new community. Go around and see what you like. Meet people. Talk with the locals, but don't talk too much. I will say that. I mean, there's only so much that you can share before they're sharing it. But like with me, I'm very transparent. I'm not afraid to share my life and who I am. I'm not afraid to be myself. I'm not afraid to be imperfect. I'm not afraid of being judged. I'm not afraid of people, causing problems for me based on what they think they know about me. And I'm not afraid to confront people and to be honest and real. Okay, so it's part of the process when you move to another country and you're trying to get to know the locals. Now, Negril is very interesting in that the locals are far and few. There are just a handful of Negril natives left here in Negril, Jamaica. Negril. So everybody else have all come here from somewhere else, right? They've all come here from somewhere else, other places, other countries, right? And so when you come, you're just adding to the little mix, all right? So make sure that what you're adding fits or blends, and that it doesn't disrupt or disturb what's already here. You know, there's a time and place for everything, and out of respect, you do have to adapt and assimilate, make some changes, learn some things, start over again, and realize that, it's not always going to be peaches and cream or mangoes and cream. It won't always be mangoes and cream, but oh my goodness, when it's sweet here, it is really so sweet. You're going to meet wonderful people. You're going to have great experiences. You're going to see wonderful things. You're going to breathe in. You're going to breathe in. They just dropped a whole shed over there. The whole shed just fell. Anyway, yeah, so lots of construction going on here in Jamaica now. Lots of changes since the hurricane. I survived it, as I was saying earlier on the earlier live stream. Go look back at it. I had a lot to say. I was really on a let's see, I was on a roll. I was on a roll. So you need to go and listen to what I had to say about why the honeymoon is over here in Jamaica. But all in all, I'll say this. I'm learning how to get along. I'm learning who really matters to me and who doesn't. Or I'm learning who's who. Everybody matters. We're all just humans. But there are some differences between Americans and Jamaicans. And particularly me being an African American or a Black American or an Indigenous American or whatever you want to call me. Here in Jamaica alone as an independent woman, you know, running her business in the States and being independent and confident and all of that, I'm finding that not everyone likes my approach or likes who I am. But I'm from a different place. It's what I believe in, and I don't have to force what I believe in on anybody else. And vice versa. I don't expect for Jamaicans to force their beliefs, their cultures, and ideas on me as an American just because I've chosen to live here. Doesn't mean that I have to adopt all Jamaican ways. It's not going to happen like that. And cheers to the differences. Cheers, water, and a little bit of wine, basically water. So let's just toast to the differences, agree to disagree, and understand that everybody's approach to life is different. Now, the way I do things, it may not be the way you do something here in Jamaica, but it's what I'm doing. And what I'm doing, you can decide. I decide. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, I can't help you. If I'm disturbing you in any way, just come please let me know. Say you're disturbing me. And I'll talk with you about that. But my presence is not going to change. I will be living here. I own land here in Negril, Jamaica. I'm not leaving. So let me see who's joined me. All right. So hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. I gotta get back to the subject at hand. And the subject is the honeymoon is over here in Jamaica, right? Now, mind you, I didn't come here for romance. I didn't come here for relationship. I came here for land, and I ended up with a man with land and land myself. So we didn't we didn't practice that, but we talked about it. And I said that I would say that I came here for land, and I ended up with land and a man. He told me to say it like that. I came with my goal, met. I did buy the land. Okay? I have the land, right? And we're going to build on the land. And it's going to be interesting, beautiful, etc. And it's my land. It's just me. And how I incorporate my relationship, that's a sidebar conversation. I really am not here. I'm not here to talk about my relationship with a Jamaican man. But ladies and gentlemen, that is a topic that I've always felt I needed to cover because so many people have so many ideas about relationships between foreigners and Jamaicans. How does it work? How do you meet in the middle? How do you work out the difficulties when um, you're faced with a language barrier, right? When things don't um, always work out exactly the way you planned, when things as with any other relationship, you do have to take the time, you got to pay attention, you got to do the work. It's hard work, especially when you're coming from two different places. It really is worth it, but it is hard work. It's not easy at all. Okay? So just remember that. And even getting adjusted to the social dynamics is difficult. I'm a big talker. I love to work through my problems by talking. So I'm a perfect candidate for talk therapy. Talk therapy is for people who want to talk things out, who want to understand their lives, their relationships, and any human conflict, any problem solving. I'm a talker. And then, there are people who ask questions, who just want to ask questions. Children ask lots of questions. That's how they get information. That's how they learn and grow. I think more adults should ask questions, especially here in Jamaica. If you have a question for me and you want to know about my life, just ask me. There are some things I'll tell you, some things I won't. But all you have to do is ask. I'm different. I am very different. And I am trying to respect the culture of Jamaica, but I want to be respected as well. All right. So when you see me, out on the street and I've lost weight, don't tell me I look MAGA because MAGA is not good. There's a saying for those of you who don't know. When you look MAGA, you look unhealthy. I have always been a petite woman, very shapely. As you can see, this little bitty waist, very shapely. And I got it from my grandmother and my mom. Well, all of my grandmothers and my mom. Yeah. Um, and I've always been petite, never had any issues with weight and things like that. Even when I was pregnant, I think I gained, the first time, I think I gained 45 pounds. And as soon as I was done delivering, it was gone. I didn't have the weight anymore. So I'm not MAGA, I'm not sick, and don't be so disrespectful that you say something crazy to me in public like that regarding my weight. You don't know what's going on. I had another woman be so disrespectful to me at a bar the other day that the bar owner had to call someone, a young man, to stop the woman from being so rude and saying so many rude things about me. And she was talking about my face. She indirectly saying, "Oh, my nose is so straight. My nose is so straight." People, well, I don't have a straight nose, as you can see. It's a birth defect. But she thought that that would hurt my feelings. And that's what she tried to do. She tried to hurt my feelings by talking about, indirectly talking. And so I counteracted that conversation by telling her, the exterior is not what matters. It's who you are on the inside that matters. who you are. Who are you on the inside? That's what matters. Who are you on the inside? And how do you treat others? Some people think they know who I am, but they don't know who I am. I've only been here a year and 6 months. A year and 6 months here. And there are women already trying to tell me how to get along and what to do and what not to do. That's according to you and your Jamaican life on this island. According to me and my life over in the United States, now here in Jamaica, I'm tweaking things. I'm living this life. I'm making sure that it goes the way I need it to go, not the way you want it to go, or not the way you think it should go. And if I am intruding or disturbing you, just, I hear you guys talking loud, but I don't ever see you come to me and sit down and be mature woman and having a conversation in my face with me. That's the way we do it in California. We're grown-ups. So, in that regard, the honeymoon is over. The hard conversations will have to happen. The hard conversation between me and some Jamaican women will be, who am I and who are they? What do I believe in and what do they believe in? How important family is to us as women and what we value on a daily basis. These are conversations that are deep, that require time, patience, and respect. Yeah, that's what it takes. And so I need to see that from some of you Jamaican women who want to call me out on things, who want to point the finger at me, who want to look at me and judge or gossip. I challenge you to talk. I challenge you to sit face to face with me and try and understand me while you want me to understand you. I challenge you to do that because that is where we build relationships. That is where the real work begins, where I have to learn some things about Jamaican culture and Jamaican life. But what I will not do is accept any violence, any brutality, any disrespect. That's what I won't accept. Now, the way I handle my personal relationships, that's for me to deal with and for the person that I'm involved with. If it doesn't have anything to do with you, don't you worry about it. I've got it. And let's watch and see what the outcome is, okay? But about gossiping and getting involved in someone's life from the outside, I see a lot of that with a handful. Nothing to do, nothing to do. They choose to be wicked. Somebody told me a long time ago to watch out for the wicked people in Jamaica. Those are the wicked people I'm talking about. I won't say they're completely wicked, but the things that they do and how they do them, like the woman talking about my face in public at a bar. Like, did you come to the bar to relax and chill like me? Because I was at the bar watching the 49ers get their ass whooped. I watched the 49ers. I'm saying hi to one of my favorite bartenders here at LTU, Cliff Bar and Restaurant. But I watched the 49ers get beat down. Okay, and I had to watch that. And I was screaming and hollering and acting a fool. And yeah, my personality is a little high. I'm a little hyper vigilant, but it's just my personality. I don't mean any harm. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Not trying to say anything bad about people like some. I would never do that. That's not who I am. So, I've been through it. I've been through it all of my life because of the way I am. People don't like the way I am. They want to tell me to sit down, shut up, and mind my manners. Fuck off. Fuck off. I'll do what I want to do. I'm 60 years old and I do what I want to do. within reason. Now, I know how to behave. I know how to be respectful. All of that. It's nothing like that. But what it is when someone finds a loophole or when someone finds a door to walk through or a problem to point out, you know, that they've always been wanting to like have a part in, they want to say something, they've always wanted to say something, they will go in when they finally can. You know what I'm talking about. You give them a chance and they will try and run with it. Well, they've got something in store coming dealing with me because I'm not going anywhere. You're going to have to deal with me long term. So if you come for me, yeah, we're going to have an exchange. We're going to have some words. Just don't ever raise your hand at me. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. I don't care who you are, or where you're from. There's a way to solve problems, okay? And it's not through violence. Now, my voice, honey, I have a high voice. I'm very passionate when it comes to things that I'm talking about and that I really love and people that I really love. I'm very passionate and I will get high, like they say. Don't get high. The Jamaicans get high. I hear them cursing each other out. Bumbleclad. Suck you, mother. I hear some horrible things and I hear some crazy arguments. And so, if you see me or hear me, going off, you're not going to hear me do it the Jamaican way. You're definitely not going to hear me do it the Jamaican way because I'm not Jamaican. But let me tell you, it's pretty intense, pretty serious when people disagree and have problems and arguments. My relationship with my guy goes up and down, and sometimes it goes way up, way high, and we have to separate and or take moments to talk only when we're low enough, and get back together and not talk or whatever. We're working all of that out. We're learning if we should be friends, lovers, you know, married, whatever. We're learning what we need to be for each other. And that's a process, ladies and gentlemen. Intimate relationships here in Jamaica are a process. And for those of you who don't know, please know that you can't leave the United States to come here looking for a relationship and then just jump right in and think it's just going to be mangoes and cream. It will not be mangoes and cream. It will not be mangoes and cream. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up shortly. This is part 2 of The Honeymoon is Over, Jamaica. Can I Retire in Jamaica is the name of my vlog series. And the vlog series is all about me moving to Jamaica from the United States, packing up everything, moving here alone, not knowing what to expect, learning to adapt, figuring out the economy and what I can afford to do and what I can't afford to do. Um, just, so much to learn, so much to learn. I have to quickly get back to take care of some more business, but I'm so happy that you guys join me and even take the time to listen, to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe, and please make sure you tap on that subscription button and tap on the bell, please. Please. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have more to share with you about my journey here in Jamaica. I am about to retake the Jamaican Real Estate Board exam, and that's in order to gain my real estate license with Jamaica. And once I get my real estate license, then I can take Those of you who are interested in investing in Jamaica, I can take you around Jamaica from Negril to St. Elizabeth's Parish to Treasure Beach. Those are the areas that I know. The southwest coast of Jamaica, I'm familiar with. Okay, I'm getting to know it. And eventually I'll be able to show you around, show you some properties and some developments. And I'll be able to help you with your construction process, getting a team together for you, construction management or project management is what I'm really good at. I'm also really good at broadcasting, being a technical director, showing you how to really market your business or your podcast, how to set your studio up or your live streams, content delivery, writing, how to analyze and follow your audience, how to do research, how to look at the algorithms, the analytics, and all of that stuff. I'm really good at those areas. Okay, play this back so you hear again what I'm really good at and how I can help you. But as long as I'm here in the Grill Jamaica as now a permanent resident, it is my contribution to my community to be transparent, to be the real person that I am, to admit that I make mistakes, to say, yes, I do speak openly about my mistakes and I have no shame. I'm not embarrassed of for making mistakes. I don't hold it against myself, and I'm not going to beat up on myself for making mistakes as I learn to live in Jamaica. Can I retire in Jamaica? Yes, I can. And you can too if that is your dream. I can tell you what I know, but your experience is your experience. And again, I'm here at LTU Cliff Bar and Restaurant where I love to experience the serenity, the liveliness, the bright colors, the coolness, the great food, the friendly staff and environment, the owners, and just the beauty of Jamaica that I can see from my table. It is just gorgeous here at LTU Cliff Bar and Restaurant. Come and see Luca and his beautiful wife and daughter and staff. They are ready and willing to show you a good time every time, evening or day. And I'm not just saying that. Some of you already know this is my favorite place to live stream. Thank you again for subscribing to Clari-T Media. Human stories and grassroots solutions is what the platform is all about. Really understanding who we are, where we're at, what we're doing, and how to have a more lively, a more rich, and more fulfilling life. And that includes you Jamaicans. There's some things you can learn about me as an American that will help you get an insight or gain an insight to who we are as people. I'm 60 years old. I'm not a child. There are some things I would love to share. So if you see me on the street, just stop me, shout me down, and I'll be happy to talk with you. If you have problems with me, come to me. Let's talk. Don't just sit up in a bar and say crazy things about me. Like, tell me what the problem is, but I've only been here a year and 6 months, so I can't imagine what the problem is. I think it's something fictitious made up in your mind that you don't really understand, but let me find out. Come talk with me. Come to my face. Don't sit up in a bar and be rude, because you look crazy, not me. And if I choose to go and share my life, it's because I have no fear. I have no fear about informing, educating, and letting people know what it's like to really live in Jamaica. I'm a single woman who came here for land. Now I have land and a man that doesn't want to let me go, who loves me. Love is a many splendored thing. But we're going to talk about that. And I say we as in him and I. We're going to talk about our relationship. We're going to open up with you guys at some time in the near future, because I think it's time for us to debunk the myths and the stereotypes about Jamaican men and American women and them together. Ooh, let me tell you. Whew, fire, fire, fire and desire. But how do you work it out? How do you meet in the middle so that, it's nothing but love? It's one love. It's not easy. There are a lot of differences. So just know that. All right. All right, you guys. So it's been Alicia Mayo, CEO and founder of Clari-T Media, Clari capital T Media. I'm not here to take any Jamaican woman's place. I am here to take my own little place, to have a little space in the world where I feel safe, calm, and at home with the people that I love, people from all over the world, doing the things that I love, and the place that fulfills me and inspires me no matter what. And that's here, right here where I'm at. Right here where I'm at. Okay? So what's wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that. But the way I choose to do things is the way I'm going to choose to do things. So I will say to those of you Jamaicans who don't agree with what I'm doing, I can't do it your way. And Damien, my partner, is not going to do it your way. We're going to do it our way, the way that works for us. All right? And sometimes we'll take you on the journey with us to finding peace between two cultures so far from each other and so different in terms of culture. All right? So, all right, you guys. Stay tuned for that. Please subscribe. Please support what I'm about. Please know that this is a real life situation, love story, um, journey, um, education, and reality series now in the form of a vlog or blog or however you want to call it, but this is real life that I'm about to share with all of you here on this channel now. When I first started my vlog series, which is called Can I Retire in Jamaica? And it's just a branch of Clari-T Media. When I started that, I had to start it because I was being forced out of San Francisco where I couldn't afford to live. I had to find a place to move to quickly where I could invest what little bit that I had to invest. And I found Jamaica. The numbers added up, although my youngest son would tell me that my budget is a little skewed, and I agree, my budget is a little off, but I'm going to be able to make that up in the next year or two. And I've taken my time with building on my land because there are people building around me, and we share lot lines, property lines. And I'm watching to see what they're going to do with their lines. You know, those severe lines can shift and change, and people can move those lines around, and you got to watch them. You got to watch them here in Jamaica because, honey, capture land is a real thing. Capture land is a real thing, all right? And if you don't have a title, you better get a title. We'll talk about that too later. But I have a title, my neighbors have a title, and we have to follow certain rules about land or severe lines and not crossing those lines. And so I've just been waiting for my neighbors behind me and to one side of me to go ahead and start their build, show me where they're going to put their building so that I know what to do with mine. I'm not in a hurry. I'm here permanently. I am a permanent resident of Jamaica, in case you didn't know. And I had that same girl in the bar tell me, well, I was born here. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that you were born here. Instead of you sharing what you know about this place and about your life as a Jamaican, you want to be volatile. You want to be rude and negative. And think about that. Come on now. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to get adapted and to learn to appreciate the people in the place, and vice versa. It works both ways. I don't have to beg for anybody's friendship. I don't have to beg for respect. I don't have to beg for anything. I just have to show respect and live with dignity and honor. And that's what I'm doing. And some people might think that the way I live is not with dignity and honor. But everything I do is with dignity and honor. And I honor family life, and I honor children and seniors especially. I really honor women. I love the fact that I am finding more and more Jamaican women who are willing to open up and talk with me about their lives. They ask me questions, and they say they're proud of me, and they want to get free the same way to just express themselves and be who they are. And I think it's a lovely thing, and I want to support them on that journey, but I want to be supported as well. It's not any different. I'm the same. I'm a woman too, and I want to be loved and appreciated and respected too. And so that's where I'm at. The honeymoon is over. Now, the real test begins. Can I retire in Jamaica? You better believe I can. I have, and I am. I'm not going anywhere, FYI, and I'm going to learn to respect more about Jamaican life and culture, and I expect it to work in my favor as well. I want to be respected and appreciated for my Black American culture as well, because I definitely bring the funk. I definitely bring the knowledge. I definitely bring the energy that is Black America. We've done some magnificent things. I'm proud of it. And I'm not going to let anybody tell me who I am, because you don't know. America's made up of so many different people, so many different things, so many different attitudes. You're going to find out. All right, so in the meantime, you guys take care. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please subscribe. Please tap on the notifications bell so that you know when I'm going live with Damien, and we're going to talk about relationship stuff. The hard parts we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the wonderful times, and we're going to learn how to get along so that more men and women from different places can learn to bridge the gaps, to learn to close the divides, close the gaps, so that we can love each other the way our ancestors did. That's how I got here. Somebody was in love. Somebody had me out of love. It wasn't the slave master raping and all that. No, this was love, because I am love. And everything I do and think is love. So I know what it was. Nobody can tell me what it was. But look, we've always loved each other. We have to remember to love each other. We're better together, united, than we are apart. So remember that. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Alicia Mayo from Clari-T Media signing out for now. Subscribe and check in with me soon, and go and see my earlier stream. Woo! I was on a roll. You guys don't want to miss it. I had a lot to say, and I still have a lot to say about retiring here in Jamaica. See you guys later. Take care.